I apologize that the previous video cut off early, and I'm not sure why it did, but I have these problems already all worked out, so I'm going to at least go through and discuss 9 on. I think it cut off in the middle of number 9. It says principal P is borrowed, and the loan's future value A at time T is given. Determine the loan's simple interest rate R. Now, if you go back all the way, and I will do this, to the beginning, or look in your packet, you find these formulas. So when you are looking for the future value, it is the standard formula. But if you are looking for P, R, or T, you use one of these modified formulas. So that's what I'll be doing. I probably said that in the previous video. In this one, it wants the interest rate, so we use the formula R is equal to, open parentheses, A minus P, close parentheses, divided by, open parentheses, P times T, close. Using your calculator, the placement of these parentheses is very important. We have P, A, and T. But please notice that T is given in months instead of years, so I need to convert it to 6 divided by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So I have, open parentheses, 3708, that's the A, minus 3600, that's the P, close parentheses, divided by, open parentheses, 3600, that is P, times the time, which is written as a fraction, 6 divided by 12. Type that in exactly like that in the home screen of your calculator. You will get 0.06, but that's the decimal. Anytime you're turning a ratio or a fraction and doing the division, you're getting the decimal value. Move the decimal 2 places to the right and you get 6%. Problem number 10. Once again, I'm going to talk through it. It says, determine the present value P. You must invest to have a future value A at a simple interest rate R after time T. From that list of formulas, you need to get the one that is solved for P. It says P is equal to A divided by, open parentheses, 1 plus R times T, close. All right, we have A. We have the interest rate 3%. To use it in the formula, we need 0.03. The time is 3 years. So I have 16,000 divided by, open parentheses, 1 plus 0.03 times 3, close. When you put that in the home screen of your calculator, this is what you get. $14,678, 0.89908. Now we have to read the instructions. It says round up to the nearest cent. So I'm definitely doing something that needs to show cents. When it says round up, it does not matter what the number back here is. This is a 9, so in traditional rounding it would cause it to round up to 90 cents. But if this were a 2, I would still round up to 90 cents. When the problem says round up, you must round up no matter what, because otherwise you will not achieve your goal. And you want to check. In MyMathLab, does it say round or does it say round up? Does it say to the nearest dollar or the nearest cent? Number 11. Again, it says determine the present value P that must be invested to have a future value A at simple interest rate R after time T. I'm looking for P again, so here's my P formula. My future value A is $4,000. My interest rate is 14%. I will do 0.14. My time is 9 months. It needs to be in years, so this is a fraction of a year, 9/12. So I fill in my values. P is equal to 4,000 divided by, open parentheses, 1 plus 0.14 times 9 divided by 12. Put this expression in the home screen of your calculator, and here's what you get. Now back to the instructions. Round up, so no matter what, I'm not going to ever round down. Round up to the nearest cent. This 0 is in the cents place, so no matter what's behind it, I'm going to round up. So it is $3,619.91. My math lab does not show any mercy if you forget to round up. I will be a little more forgiving when you take a test if you happen to mess up on that. All right, let's look at number 12. It says, in order to start a small business, a student takes out a simple interest loan for $2,000. That's the principal, sometimes called the present value. For 6 months, that's time, but it's months, so it's 6 divided by 12. Interest rate is R, but instead of 9.5%, it's 0.095 as a decimal. 2 questions. How much interest must the student pay? All right, here's my formula for interest. So to calculate our interest, we have interest is equal to principal times rate times time. That's 2,000 times 0.095 times 6 divided by 12. Put that in your calculator and you will get $95. That's what we put right here. The second question says, find the future value of the loan. Now, most students would probably use the future value formula. It is A is equal to P parentheses 1 plus R times T. Principal, 2,000, open parentheses, 1 plus 0.095 times 6 divided by 12, and you will get $2,095. But you might remember from our earliest discussion that the future value is the principal plus the interest. So all you had to do was take the $2,000, which was your principal, that's what you started the loan with, add on the calculated interest, and that is another way. So you can do it this way or this way. Totally up to you. Let's look at number 13. It says, suppose you borrow $1,000 from a friend. That's your principal or your present value. And promise to pay back $1,950 in 5 years. Well, that's in the future, so that's your future value, your future amount, it's A. In 5 years, that's your T. What simple interest rate will you pay? That means that you need the formula for R. Going back to the very beginning of this lesson, you've got your R. Remember that you can go to your extra handouts, or they might be called notes, in my math lab, and you can get all of the formula sheets for each one of the units. All right, here's the formula for R. Open parentheses, future value 1950 minus present value or principal 1,000, close, divided by, open, 1,000 times the time was 5. You get 0.19. That's a decimal. You must move the decimal 2 places to the right and you will get the percent. All right, let's look at number 14. To borrow money, you pawn your guitar. Based on the value of the guitar, the pawnbroker loans you, whoops, I'm sorry. Well, was trying to get it at the top. I guess it doesn't matter. The pawnbroker loans you $960. That's the amount of the loan. That's the present value. That's the principal. 1 month later, that is time. It is 1/12 of a year. You get the guitar back by paying the pawnbroker $1,270. That's the future value, or the A. What is the annual interest rate, or what annual interest rate did you pay? Once again, interest rate. Use the formula for R. It is $1,270 minus $96. That's in parentheses, divided by 960 times the time, which is 1 divided by 12. You get kind of an unexpected large decimal number, 3.875. This is indeed a decimal. To change it to a percent, you have to move it 2 to the right. And although this is huge, this is 387.5%. The instructions say round to the nearest whole number. So this 0.57 is the nearest, is the whole, the ones place. That will round it to 388%. And that's what's going on with pawnbrokers. The percentages are huge. Okay, the last of the calculation problems, number 15, it says a bank offers a CD, which stands for Certificate of Deposit, that pays an simple interest rate of 6.5%. How much must you put into this CD now? So in other words, now, present value, principal, in order to have $4,000, that's your future value, A, for a home entertainment center, that's kind of irrelevant, in 2 years, that's T. All right, so we're looking for present value. I will get the present value formulas. The future value is 4,000 divided by, open parentheses, 1 plus, the interest rate changed to a decimal. It was 6.5%, now it's 0.065, times T is the time, and it is 2 years. Now, this is looking for the present value. What do you have to borrow in order, what do you have to borrow in order to get this particular future value? So when I get my answer, it says round up to the nearest cent. Well, here's cents. I know that a 3 does not traditionally tell you to round up, but the instructions very clearly said round up. So this will round from 82 cents to 83 cents. Anytime you're looking for P, present value, you will round up per the instructions either to the nearest cent or round up to the nearest dollar, but you will round up. The very last question, I will not actually answer this one in the video. It says, what is the future value, which is A, of a loan, and how is it determined? You should be able to either check in your notes, if you've taken notes from my videos, or look in your e-text, which is available through my math lab, or even Google future value of a simple interest loan. Make sure you mention that it's simple interest. Okay? So this will be added to the other video.